Hello, friends. Welcome to Soul Shift Coaching. I am David Hale. Thank you for being here. Anyone else a member of the 3 a.m. club? I am from time to time. I don't know what it is about that hour, but I just would get up. I'd toss and turn. I'd be hot, need to use a lavatory, think about the day to come. And then sometimes I would just have this unrest in my soul. But for whatever it was, for a long time, that last section of sleep, that witching hour, the fourth watch, 3 a.m. to 6 a.m., was just not quality sleep. And it really impacted my day. I wasn't as sharp. Didn't have enough energy, as much energy. And I also just didn't have the amount of joy that I normally have. But fortunately, a few years back, I discovered the antidote. And literally 99% of the time now, if I apply this technique, if I apply this tool, if I accept this gift, I'm falling back to sleep. And so how I want to unpack this for you is within the context of a famous story from the book of Mark in the Bible in the 6th chapter. This is the miracle where Jesus walks on water. And there's obviously more to that story. And what had happened is the apostles and Jesus went over to one side of the Sea of Galilee. Jesus stayed on land to go off to pray by himself, which he often did. Very good to have that solitary time of prayer. And the apostles, the boys, went off into the boat into the Sea of Galilee. And how the story reads is that during the fourth watch, 3 a.m. to 6 a.m., the wind started to pick up and the sea started to get gnarly. And if you've ever been to Israel, I've been fortunate enough to go one time, the geography of it, and really any large body of water, the wind can roll in from the north and really start to pick up at the drop of a dime and raise, make the seas swell and so forth. And that's what happened. And how the story unfolds is it says that Jesus sees the boys in the boat, the apostles, from afar. And they'd been straining a long time, it says. Maybe for an hour or two, they'd been fighting the wind. They'd been fighting the waves. And at one point, they just start to panic. They get scared. They're overcome with anxiety because they're in the middle of the sea and things are getting nasty. Things are getting a little rough. And so what happens is that Jesus starts to walk toward them on the water. And the boys in the boat get scared and they actually cry out because they think it's a ghost. Have you ever cried out in the middle of the night? Have you ever cried out at that witching hour during the fourth watch? I have. I've also had the dark night of the soul. There's been tears. There's been sweats. There's been tossing and turning. There's been lack of sleep. It can get a little hairy if you are not right in your soul. If there's a real big ticket item in your life that you're just having trouble reconciling, that's unfinished business, or that you've just had a significant loss, or there's financial woes, or there's relationships that just aren't mended or very strained, or if you have a prodigal son or a prodigal daughter or stressful work or what have you, it can be any number of things. But have you ever cried out, being startled during that witching hour, that fourth watch of the night? I think we all have, to one degree or another. And so what does Jesus do? Well, he approaches the boat and he says one of the things that is said 365 times in the Bible. Isn't that wild? Jesus says, "It is I, do not fear." And 365 times it says in the Bible, "Do not fear." One for each day, folks. So he speaks to them, affirming words. That's one thing he does. But what he also does is he walks toward them. So not only does he speak it, he also shows them. He does something physical as well. And what water can symbolize in that ancient culture, the Jewish culture, and for us today, it can symbolize power and chaos and unknown and fear, right? Have you ever been made to feel this small in the ocean? I have. People can drown in the ocean, right? It can just be too much, too fast, and overwhelming. Well, by walking along the water, one of the things that it symbolizes is that Jesus says, "Hey, boys, I've got it. I'm commanding and controlling and have dominion over that which scares you." And so, my dear friends, if you are a member of the 3 a.m. club, the antidote that has worked for me for years now is that I just simply call out to the Spirit of God and I say, "Spirit of God, come. Please I need you now. Spirit of God, come. And as I'm saying that, I've also learned to breathe 4 seconds out and 4 seconds in, getting into a rhythm with my breath to also calm me down to match the words that I'm speaking. And after a few minutes, I'm out. And whether it's 60 minutes, 90 minutes, or a full 2 hours, I always wake up with a smile on my face. Because what has happened is I have invited peace into my life. I have invited rhythm into my life. Even if it's at 3 a.m., I'm inviting a spiritual discipline. I'm inviting truth. I'm still building my character and saying, hey, as hard as I try to do everything on myself, as much as I perform, as much as I try to check the box and be a good guy, I still need help. Because during the fourth watch in the dead of night, when the wind is blowing and the seas are getting gnarly, I need help. And so I wake up, and what has happened over that last little section of sleep is that he has reordered and reorganized everything that was ripping and running in my brain while I was sleeping. And coming out of it on the other side, there's just an alignment. There is a oneness. There is a wholeness. There is a peace. If for nothing else, because I've gotten a full night rest and I've invited peace himself into my world yet again. When was the last time you asked the Spirit of God to just come? He sees you. He sees you from afar. And if you're fighting it, he's approaching you and he's saying, it is I. Do not fear. And as he's walking towards you, he is reminding you that he has the control. He is sovereign. I don't have it. You don't have it. No one has it. Some people are better at faking it for longer. That is true. But in the end, no one has it under control except one. And if you want to conquer the 3 a.m. club, if you want to graduate from it and leave it behind you, try it. Just invite the Spirit of God to come. Tell him you need help and control your breathing. And just see if you don't wake up 60, 90 minutes, 2 hours later with a smile on your face and genuine rest and genuine joy to engage the day. If you like this content, my dear friends, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you, and subscribe. I'm trying to increase my subscriptions this year. And you can also look down in the description box below and see 2 links. One is my coaching site, soulshift.org, where you can go learn more about me, my style, and my approach. And then you can also see book coaching, and you can schedule a free consultation. And you and I can connect and talk about who you are, where you are, and who you want to become. And more importantly, how you want to get there. Because I'd be honored and privileged for you to invite me into your world to walk with you down this path of transformation. Stand tall, my dear friends. Stand firm. You're worth it.